Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are going to be taking a first look at a new game which came out on the 23rd called Age of History 3. It is developed by Lucas Jakowski. I believe this is a one-man game. That's kind of what they've referenced in the some of the press releases about the game. That being said, one man in a developer sense. I don't know if they use contractors. I know they did mention using AI to some extent. I believe like AI art and things like that. We can talk about that a little bit more later in the game, but if that does matter to you, that is something you should be aware of. This is a game which has a very similar aesthetic to Paradox games. It has kind of, to me, some Europa Universalis vibes, but it also sort of covers a bit of a crusade, or a bit of a civilization sort of arc of history, in the sense that the game can go back as far as, you know, ancient Rome, ancient Greece, but also plays all the way through to the modern era. And so that is kind of distinct, I would say, in terms of games. Now, it is, you should know this up front, because this is a first look. There's no tutorial. There's not a lot of explanation on how to play. There are a few videos on YouTube that might help you with that, but not a lot. So this is a game that, like, it's going to take a little bit of persistence to figure out what the best way is to play. Now, Age of History 2 was big on mobile. Age of History 3 has already got like 10,000 plus purchases on the Android App Store, which I don't think a lot of people buy a lot of games outright. So seems to be doing pretty well there. I don't think, as of this morning anyway, it hadn't launched on iOS yet, but you do see there is an iOS option here, so I would assume it's coming to Apple if it hasn't already by the time you're watching this. It is also on Steam. It had over 7,800 concurrents earlier today, which is kind of a lot for a one-man studio. It's $10 on Steam, so it's not tremendously expensive, but I am curious how deep it is. It has a lot of stuff, but it is not... It's on mobile, and so I'm curious how deep the actual game is. I have not played the previous Age of History games before. I was vaguely aware of Age of History 2, but I have not played 3, so this is a true first look for me. But that's enough of me talking. Let's go ahead and jump in here. Now, there's two gameplay options here. There's a new game and a campaign game option. I don't know the difference, guys. I go in, I hit campaign, and it's like, all right, so we've got sort of the Hellenic world here. You've got, you know, a little bit of the yellow areas here are outside the scope of this scenario, I believe. So you like start in 550 BC, and you've got these provinces all here with these different kingdoms, and, you know, 550 BC. Well, you can also scroll forward. You can be Northern Europe in 257 BC. You can be the fall of the Han Dynasty here. You can scroll down to, you know, look at England and the British Isles. Well, really just the island of England, I guess. Or the island of Britain. Oh my God. You know, here, because there's no Ireland here, but you've also got Spain. You know, you can see scrolling through here, there's a number of different options. There's sort of the rise of the Ottomans, all the way into the Napoleonic Wars and into the modern era. I'm not quite sure why there's a Brasilia game for the modern era, or why there's a U.S. state game for the modern era. Sure, we're not going to have a civil war with 50 different states, but the election looms. And then there's sort of a near future, I guess, of 2077 in all of South America. So some different campaign options, but it doesn't really tell me anything about, like, okay, so what's the goal here? What do you do here? You can click scenarios, which have, I guess, the same thing as the campaigns. But then if you go to new game, you've got all these different options. I don't know why it zooms out like that, but if I go to new... Why is it doing that? Yeah, this is strange. It doesn't... All right, so then you've got the new game option, or whatever the thing is I just clicked on now, and you've got the fall of the Eternal City, which is sort of, you know, just after the fall of Rome, or right around the fall of Western Rome. You've got the Odoacer sort of kingdom here in Italy. You've got Byzantium in the east, and you've got, you know, the different kingdoms here. But then there's also, you know, playthroughs all the way into the 30 Years' War, the Great War, World War II, or the modern world. Again, these ones at least have some description about, like, what the era is about. So interesting stuff here. I will also say the different eras have different time compression. So like the Fall of the Eternal City is like 1 turn, which is whatever their measure of time is 7 weeks or 7 days. But if you go like to the World War II thing, it's like quasi 24-hour days, where like a turn could be a few hours within a day. And so time moves much more slowly. Like you might play for 10 minutes on a medium speed and progress 10 years in the Fall of the Eternal City. In World War II, you know, it's more like Hearts of Iron time frame-ish. I do want to play the Fall of the Eternal City just because there's some things I do want to show you that I think, you know, they're worth knowing. But yeah, so let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so this is, again, very Paradoxy-like. You go into this screen with the whole map, you click on the different countries, you get a little bit of information about them, and you can make your decision on who you want to play. So, for example, the Odokur Kingdom here, apparently they're Catholic, even though they overthrew the Romans. I don't know if the people who overthrew the Romans were Catholic, but it says they're Catholic. They're a monarchy. Their capital is in Ravinia. They have a civ rank of 2, 4.1 million people, 186 provinces, 400 economy, and 6 unlocked technologies. If you go to the Byzantine Empire, you have 499 economy, so you can see it's a stronger economy in the east. You've got 488 provinces. You've got 9.1 million people and 6 6 technologies unlocked. They're Catholic. Maybe the schism hasn't happened yet. But then you also have other kingdoms here. You've got the Visigoths, who should be Catholic, I believe, by this period of time. They're pagan. You've got the Sosans, which are pagan, the Alemanni, which are pagan. But you'll notice one other thing, and I think this is where the AI art comes in, or AI stuff. George VI, he looks like a British king. You know, like if you wrote into a prompt, give me a medieval king, like that's what that dude looks like. Same thing for the dude in Italy. Same thing for the dude in Byzantium. Like, minor quibble, I guess, but these are things you should be aware of. You know, this guy does not look like a Sassanid emperor. You know, so they've got weird things where it's like Zoroastrianism. Like, okay, they got that right, but then they don't. But again, some of the art is maybe not super tailored to the kingdoms. Also, the rulers here are not historical rulers. Every time I've started a new game, it's a new ruler for Byzantium. Tobias I was not the Byzantine emperor in 476, and Seward VII was not the leader of the tribes that overthrew the Romans. So I think this is particular perhaps to the older games, or maybe the games where the history is a little bit more obscure, perhaps. Because if I go into the World War II start date, they'll have actual portraits of the leaders here. You can see, obviously, you've got Hitler in Germany, you've got Paris Lavelle in France, Stanley Baldwin in England, and like these are all real rulers here. Joseph Stalin in Russia. So like, I don't know. I guess some of the scenarios are a little bit more tailored to the game. You know, to I guess the individual scenario, perhaps. But we're going to do the Fall of the Eternal City just because I think it makes sense to approach the game in a way that is a little bit more approachable, I think, so that it can be easier to learn. Because there's a lot I don't know. I haven't played these games before, and I think trying to fight World War II while you're trying to learn is probably not the approach I want to take. Yeah, no longer Tobias I. It's now Peregrine IX. Peregrine Duke. All right, so let's go ahead, and we are going to fight in Ireland. Feels like unifying Ireland might not be a bad idea. We're going to go ahead and play as Dublin, which I believe is the strongest-ish, if you exclude sort of the north province up here, is the strongest province in Ireland to start. You can see most of these guys are all pretty broken up. There's a few that have multiple provinces, but for the most part, Ireland is a lot of roughly equally strengthed kingdoms, if you will. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to play as Dublin. We've got 3 provinces here, these 3. We've got a population of 113,000, 6 economy, 6 technologies unlocked. Additionally, there are different perks that different kingdoms have. I think this is also just randomly generated on power-up. You've got army movement speed +5, regiment limit +8, and reinforcement speed +5. This is more of a war game, I would say, than something like Civ. It is a game where it is about map painting. At least that's my impression of it. So let's go ahead and jump in and actually start playing. We've only been going for 10 minutes now, so let's actually play. So let's go ahead, and you can see up here, here's the clock. It's April 2nd, 476. We're in the age of expansion. I don't know if those ages change at all. You know, it'd be interesting if they did. Kind of like in Civ, where things change. Now you will see that the whole map is around, but these other parts of the map are kind of closed off to us, so we can't do anything with that. But I'm not sure if time limits or anything change or like maps change or other things like that. Not entirely sure. There appears to be a rival component to this where you have to choose your rivals. I'm not going to choose anyone outside of, you know, my general vicinity. I'm thinking Arklow might not be a bad rival. Like, they should be places near me, right? So, but these are all roughly the same. I guess I have to pick countries that are roughly in my ranking, because I can't. It doesn't look like I can scroll here. Looks like I have to choose these within this sort of group. We have to choose 3 rivals. So Antrium, which is to the northeast of us, go ahead and confirm that they're a rival. Let's go ahead and... Who else should we make? I don't know that I want to make everybody bordering me my rival. Wexford down here in the south, maybe? Orel is actually... they border me too. I mean, these are all roughly... And I don't know what... Like, I'm assuming I get prestige for having rivals, or civilization legacy, which kind of functions like prestige, I believe. Did I not get to choose a 3rd rival? I don't know where that went to. Oh, you can have advisors here? Okay. I'm just looking around here. We've got these different screens. Well, I'm curious if it pops back up of like, hey, you should have a 3rd rival. I'm not sure where it went. In any event, so we've got a army of 12,000 soldiers right now. I do want to conquer, but before we get into that, let's take a look at the economy, right? So, like, there's some basic information on the screen here. You've got a budget. We start with 366 gold in the treasury. We gain 5.42 gold every turn. A turn is 7 days. A turn is basically like you got speed 1 to 5, so you can speed things up, slow things down. When you unpause it, when it means a turn, it's just like you hit plus 1 turn there, 2 turns there, 3 turns there. So a week passes every time you have a turn, and that's all that really is. So you can see here's our budget. We also have recruitment of up to 13,000 manpower for regiments, maximum manpower being 22,075. You have a army strength, monthly change, you know, all these different things. You can see we're gaining 245 manpower per month. You've got a technology research window as well. Right now we are 0% of the way to the next tech. We started with 6 technologies. Our civilization rank gives us 0.85, and then we have a base value of 1. So that's sort of the progress that you make toward technology. You've got civilization legacy, which I assume functions like prestige. You can see here we have 329.6 civilization legacy points right now with a monthly change of plus 2.4. And then we have diplomacy. Diplomacy points, I'm assuming, influence how well you can actually, you know, wage diplomatic actions against adversaries. Now, the biggest thing, I think, based on everything I've seen here, that you need to do is you need to build up a strong economy. You need gold to fund your expansion, fund your government, all the kind of things, development, whatnot. How do you make your money go up? Well, there's a couple of ways. 1, you can get more efficient with taxes. 2, you can go ahead and have a larger population. You can invest into growth rate. You can also invest in, I believe, infrastructure and then the economy. The economy is pretty straightforward here. You want to expand your economy in a province, and you just spend gold on it. You throw money at a province to invest in that province to expand its economy. Now we have 3 provinces in our country right now. 1 produces glass, which I'm assuming is more valuable, and then you've got 2 which produce fruit, which I'm assuming are less valuable. I think these might be built into the map, and they don't change, at least not based on region, because each time I've loaded this up, these provinces have the same economy, so that's worthwhile. Now, again, you can see each one of these is producing a certain amount of economic output. You've got 1.3, or that's legacy points. You've got a monthly income down here after 100 days. If you invest in the economy, it'll increase the monthly income by 0.034, you can see, for if we invest after 100 days. I'm assuming there's sort of a ramp-up period. But I think if you go 18208, 216, does that add up to 54? I suck at math. It's roughly good. I'm not sure why the actual, well, I guess these are, so in order to invest here, it costs 15 gold and 1.3 civilization points. So you have to spend civilization legacy to expand the economy. You also have to spend gold. And you can see here the economy output here. So I suppose it would be a good idea to invest, right? How do you do that? Well, left click on Dublin, and we're going to expand that. And you get a little progress bar, which shows up here. And right now the game's paused, so that progress bar is not making any progress. You can also, that was 1 investment in the economy, you can stack investments. So you can go ahead and perform this action twice. You can see here the cost went up accordingly. Perform this 3 times, the cost goes up accordingly as well. So now instead of the, 15 or whatever it costs, we want to go ahead and expand Draga's economy. It'll do it by 3, and we go here, we'll spend more gold out of our treasury, and now we're going to work on that. So go ahead and unpause, and you can see the progress will start to tick up. We're going on the slowest speed, so it's a little bit slow, but you can see the progress being made. There is one other way to do this a little bit more quickly, and especially when your country grows, you're going to want to do that kind of a click all type scenario, because it'd be very tedious to monitor, manage each one of these provinces one at a time. If you, for example, controlled all of England, or you controlled all of Germany, right? Like, there are a lot of provinces. Each one of these little icons represents a province. So to do that one at a time is slow and tedious, and probably not what you want to do. So what you can do is you can do a mass selection here, which I'll show you in a moment. So let's go ahead and speed things up. You can see we're already a year in. So when you've got 7-day turns, time comes at you quickly. All right, so speaking of which, we're getting little updates down here. This is, again, Paradox-like. You can see Antrium is damaging relations with us. These guys don't like us. Our opinion of them is -7. Lannister is improving relations with us. The folks down here, we're at +16, and they're cooperative with us. Tyrone up here is improving relations with us, and we're +13. And Sulers is damaging relations with us. They're down here, and they're at a +21, but apparently it's getting worse. Not sure why they're damaging or doing that, but they are. All right, so let's go back to the economy screen. You can see the progress is getting close to being done. But we'll just let this finish. And there you have it. Now you can see Dublin finished first. Drogue, however you pronounce that, is doing its 2nd investment here. It didn't cost me anymore. It's just they are doing another investment because they told them to do multiple investments. We'll watch as that one completes here in a moment. We've got one more to do here. Now, I will also say that economy can max out in a given province, so it's not just a matter of dump money in to get more money. Eventually, that money and investment will sort of reach a max. I believe the max is influenced by things like your infrastructure, things like your technology, other things like that, which sort of influence how much you can do. So we just invested 3 of those on Drogba, 1 in Dublin, and nothing in Dudank. One other thing you can do here. Let's go ahead and try this twice or 3 times. You can see this is 52, 48, 46. So all told, that's what, like 150? Use the middle mouse wheel button. Strange, I know. And click and drag a box over all of your provinces. Oh, I just clicked the wrong button. Click and drag a box over... Let's make this 3. Click and drag a box over all of your counties. And apparently that only does it once for each county, because I had selected it 3 times, but it only took 1 worth of gold out of our income. But at the very least, it did select to invest in all of the economies in all of these provinces simultaneously. They'll work through that. They'll only do it once, and then it'll go away. So that is, I guess, something to be aware of in terms of how you invest in your economy. Again, you can see our maximum amount of gold has gone up slightly, and then also our balance, our total income, has likewise increased as a result of all of these investments that we're making. Not a ton, but we're up to 5.74 now, so we are investing in the economy and making the economy grow. We've now got Wexford improving relations with us, so good for them. So all these other folks are doing diplomacy. Good on you. Now, there's other things you can do to make your economy grow. You've got tax efficiency up here. Monthly tax generated from each province is primarily determined by 2 factors, the level of tax efficiency in the province and its population size. So we've been investing in the economy to help the economy grow in these provinces. But one other thing which also matters is how efficient you are at taxing. Right now, not very. 1.6% tax efficiency in Drogba, 1.8 in Dublin, and 1.8 in Dudenk. So again, same deal here. We go ahead and drag highlight, and we invest in that. Gold goes down, and invest and progress starts. You can likewise do the same thing for your population. So Dublin has 48,000 people, Dudenk has 20, and Drogba has 44. Population growth rate, 34% in Drogba. Dublin is at 58%, and Dundalk is 15%. You want to make people have more babies, invest more money, and see that percentages go up. And do it the same way. Drag and just release. And now we're going to invest that in all of these different provinces. And then there's also infrastructure, which I guess maybe this is similar to like Paradox, where you just, you build up the infrastructure. It looks like Dublin has a max capacity of 4, Drogba's 2, and Dudenk's 1. I don't fully know. It's interesting. Economy tells you how to invest in the economy, what it does. Tax efficiency tells you what it does. Growth rate tells you what it does. Infrastructure doesn't, and I don't know if, is this just a unit cap? I'm not sure, but I guess we'll do this too. So we're going to max cap the Dudenk's infrastructure here. It also costs a lot of legacy points for whatever reason. So I guess, did it say infrastructure was key in tax efficiency? No, that's population size. Well, I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and let these things progress and complete. By the way, you can also see we're, 8 years in? So this game is moving quickly at the moment. And we haven't done anything yet other than do some investments, which I guess are important. We've done growth rate. We've done infrastructure, economy, tax rate. There's also buildings. So you can, build temples, which increases your income. I guess people are, giving money to the gods or something. You can build monuments, which improve your... So there's sort of 3 main things here to help these score items up at the top. The temple improves your income. The monument improves your legacy, which you also are spending legacy each time when you build one of these things. And the library increases your research speed. So definitely things to keep in mind in terms of building. There are also military buildings, factories, things like that you can build later in the game, but right now, no military buildings for us. Granary also is a building you can do to influence population growth. Apparently also helps the defense of a province as well. And then you've got a farm, which increases growth rate and the economy. You've got a crop farm, which I assume one is like subsistence, basic agriculture. The other is like for-profit crops. And that's kind of all we have right now for buildings. But there's a lot more that open up either with technology or later on. You can build cores, which we don't have. People familiar with Paradox games are probably familiar with the concept of cores, but we have no provincial cores or anything like that. Who wants to form an alliance with me? Connaught? Where are they? They're over here. They're to the west. Are they at war with anyone? They're rivals of Awfully, which they're our neighbors, who I would probably want to conquer. They're also rivals with Thomba down here in the southwest, and Antrium, who we've already declared are our rivals. So I don't see a reason not to. They're not at war with anyone, although they are damaging relations with Galway. They're friendly with us. Does it say what their military rank is? Battle with... So there's like a combat... Great. Loud thunder. There's like a... Dundalk is pronounced Doondalk. I'm real bad with pronunciations, but I appreciate that. Alright. Sure, why not? We're still waiting on that other stuff. I want to build more military stuff, but I want to wait. Looks like infrastructure's done. I think. Yeah, the infrastructure work's done. Economy's done. Tax efficiency's done. So all those things are done, and look, we're at 5.8, so our money's going up ever so slowly. I do think the, maybe our expenses went up slightly? I don't feel like it went up quite as much as I would like. Not Dune. Dundalk. Okay, thank you. Alright, so what else is there? There's buildings, we talked about that. I guess more money is always good. Takes a little while, but we should have temples in each province, right? Also, we just spent all of our money on that. But hey, you know, 500 days sounds like a lot of construction time, but, you know, in this game, we've already gone 16 years. So we're building 3 temples. Give us more money. Different folks are damaging relations with us. This is happening so quickly, I don't know what to make of any of this. Like, I don't think anyone's about to go to war with me. There's also laws you can enact, but I'm not going to bother with any of that right now. And there's missions, which I assume if you accomplish them, it gives you, like, points and things like that, but not really paying attention to that either. There's a Supreme Court. You can influence corruption, military academy for generals, all that jazz. And then there's manpower, too, so that stuff. We should build some more soldiers, because I do want to go to war, and we're going to need more than 12,000 soldiers here, probably. So, click up here to click on our manpower, and then it gives me an option to recruit soldiers. Right now, our soldiers are limited to warriors, spearmen, bowmen, and settlers, which I guess are a support unit. Bowmen, obviously ranged units. We'll build 2 bowmen. You just double click and you stack build. We will build 2 spearmen, I guess. They're probably good against cavalry, presumably. Actually, they're better attackers than warriors. Better defenders than warriors. They're faster than warriors. Their siege ability is better than warriors. They're probably just much more expensive. 4 more. Alright, so we're going to build 2,000 archers and then 1,000 spearmen up here. And now look at that. I'm already out of money. But we'll get more money over time. So again, we got the 5.8 gold per turn right now. We're building these temples, which will give us more income. We're about halfway done with the temples. And I'd like to get an army around 30,000 if I can. Oh, shit. We're at war. With who? Galway? Oh, did I get pulled into this war by our allies that we just signed up with? Well, shit. Can I even get there? I gotta get on damn boats to be able to get there. Okay. I hope these guys aren't coming to war. Let's just take a look at this real quick. Are there allies? Mayo is allied with them. Is Galway trying to come? Oh shit, is this a sea battle? What is... Okay, this... The time is going way too quickly. What happened here? So, Connaught lost a battle. They're at sea. Their troops are retreating. So we lost... That battle happened real fast. We lost a battle. I'm guessing at sea. The army was destroyed at sea. Great. Well, there goes our army. I guess it gives me more money to build a new army, but still, that's not great. Can we just peace out of this war? I don't really want to fight it. Alright, we're building troops. It's best to stack your units too, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's raise some more regiments since we lost all of our... So we're going to have to slowly build our troops back up. We can just merge our units. Do we have generals? Tobias Brezi. We have a general. We'll assign him to the army. And we're going to get crushed. Can I just make peace with them? I don't want to be in this war, guys. I don't want to get my country conquered. So Dublin's under siege from 23,000 soldiers coming in from Galway. I made a mistake in allying with those guys. Is there any way to break my alliance? I don't really want to be in your war. Well, also, why are they invading me? Go invade the other guys. Why is the AI going to occupy my country? Occupy the damn country that dragged me into this damn thing. I think. Glad I got my whole country wiped. I'm not even going to bother building more troops at this point. Our civilization rank looks like it took a hit, I'm guessing, when we lost all those battles. Just go occupy those guys and let me out of this damn war. You're the player, the AI's job is to bully you, I guess. But I don't want to be in this war, and I don't want my country to be occupied, so... I guess we'll just use this time to save up some money so I can rebuild my army, because Lord knows I'm going to need to do that. Let me out. My advisor. Oh, my advisor is the guy I sent out in that army. He got killed. So we built those temples. Can I build other things while I'm occupied? They better not make me a vassal or some nonsense. Alright, they're conquering our allies, so this war should end soon, I imagine. Be nice to just be able to leave the war, be like, nope, we're done. But I was hoping for some quick conquests of some neighboring countries. Peace treaty. Okay, so we are out of the war. So they got occupied, by the way. They're gone. Their country got wiped out by the looks of it. So our alliance is gone because they don't exist anymore. They're just a color palette. They're gone. Which means these guys are going to be that much more of a pain to deal with. But it does also mean that we're out of the war and we didn't lose any territory, I guess. So at least that happened. All right. Alright, we're going to raise 9,000 spearmen, because that's what I can afford. These guys allied to anybody? Oh, you can rename provinces just by clicking on them? Allied to Cork. Is this Cork over here? No. Up here. Well, that's not great. Is there anybody who's not allied to anybody? Everybody seems to have at least one alliance except for me. You're probably like, yeah, that way we don't have the AI crush us. Well, that makes going to war harder when everybody who's around you has an alliance with someone else. Alright, let's raise some bowmen. There's 4,000 bowmen. There also are other wars going on right now. Oh, we can recruit a general officer. Bartholomew Buslin. I don't have enough gold to recruit him. Alright, so who's at war up here? These guys are going to get wiped out too soon. Maybe they don't have an alliance anymore. So, Ireland is consolidating and I'm getting nowhere. Well, I guess we'll see who conquers them. There's Munster. They're down here. Okay. I suppose if it's just these guys down here, maybe I could conquer them before Munster could get all their troops down here to help. A lot of people damaging relations with me, though. I'm not liked, apparently. Alright, can we raise more troops? We got more money. Did I not raise the general, though? I didn't have enough money, right? Alright, so... Oh, different generals now. Wulfric. You're now the commander of our army. We've got 13,000 troops. We're going to need more than that based on what we saw. So we just raised 4,000 spearmen, or 4,000 bowmen. Let's raise some warriors. They're cheaper. Raise 3,000 more of them. I'm going to try and get to around a 22,000 man army, and then we'll see if we can conquer those guys to the south of us. Looks like this war to the north is still ongoing. It's funny, too, because these guys are supportive of us. Can we do anything to get them to, like, become a protectorate? Maybe they would... Guarantee independence. That would kind of make them a protectorate, right? You could form an alliance with them, but I don't really think they add a lot. I'd rather just insult them to the point of going to war. Oh, they got vassals. So they vassalize these guys. Cork is 71. These guys are 80. What am I? 55? Okay. I don't know. Maybe I could take him. Alright. We have 13,000 troops. We shall build me an army worthy of the historical gamer. I don't know what that means. I don't know what I'm worth, but he's 39 years old. Okay, so characters do age and die out too. So. Right, we are going to build a few thousand more warriors. You can see our income is getting worse as we expand the size of our army, which makes sense. I'm going to build a death stack. I probably need more bowmen. What's the army made of right now? 5,000 warriors, 14,000 spearmen, 4,000 bowmen. Bowmen are going to be more expensive, slightly anyway. Okay, we're up to 26,000 men. Once we're at 30,000, I think that'll be what we attempt to go with. Maybe we'll sign that other country nearest to an alliance as well, just in the event that a few thousand extra soldiers might help. Yeah, but you can have multiple ranks. I'm aware the combat width is limited, but you can, I think, anyway, have multiple ranks of soldiers. So these are like a support unit in the rear. So right now we've got 14,000 spearmen, which would be in the front rank. We've got 13,000 bowmen, so let's make one more, and then I'm assuming we'll just, the warriors will be a bit of a reserve or something. Sufficient gold. How much do they cost? 45? They weren't always that much, were they? Looks like the costs all went up. I don't really fully understand how the economy works, but whatever. I think we'll go with what we got. Alright, so let's get back to the diplomacy screen. Let's go here. These guys are still cooperative with us. Can we ally with them? No. They have the maximum number of allies they can have. Great. Well, so much for that. So I think there's an element of if you build a bunch of something, then the cost can go up in this. Unless I'm making that up in my head, but I think that's true. Alright, so if we go for Kindar, they are allied to Cork. The regiment limit is 20. What's ours? Oh, I think our army's maybe limited to 28. What is our regiment limit? Oh, maybe that's why they got more expensive. Our army limit is 28, and we've got 28 regiments, so we're, I guess, at our max. So they have a regiment limit of 20, and their ally has a regiment limit of 26. So in theory, they could bring 46,000 troops to bear against us, whereas we can only have 28,000. So I think we got to strike hard and fast, hit them while they're isolated. No enemy force that they could bring could exceed... neither country could bring an army that would be larger than our own. But combined, they could. So, divide and conquer, if you will. They really don't like me. Their opinion is very negative. I've got some other very negative countries around me, although at least these guys to the north... Wow, they don't like me. Alright, well, these guys are already at war. Whatever, hopefully no one else joins the war. Let's go ahead and declare war. There's an aggressive expansion thing, and it costs diplomacy points to go to war, so... Alright, so we quickly wiped out their main army, I'm assuming. Quickly won another victory here. I'm assuming Munster's gonna send... Oh god. They've got more men than me. Let's pause here. They've got 23,000 troops here. Is this army drawing reinforcements at all? So we crushed their armies, the initial armies, but they got here faster than I thought they would. I do have a little bit of money. Does the cost of raising troops go down at all? No, they still are expensive as fuck. And I only have enough money for like one of them. So we've got a real nice war score here of 59 because we crushed the enemy army and we occupy their capital. In order to force a treaty on the enemy, though, you've got to have a war score of 90 or above. I don't know what their breakout of soldiers is. It's possible I've got better soldiers than them, or my bowmen might help, but I don't think there's anything I can do. Maybe I can raise the one... Oh, I can raise them back here. And they crushed me right quick. Alright, so they're going to spend some time liberating that province from me. We did have 8,000 soldiers get away, as well as the commander of that force. Are they going to draw any reinforcements? They are drawing some reinforcements, at least. Did I lose? What just happened? That's weird. Did we change ages? Age of Darkness. So I guess we switched era. Maybe that's when the cost went up. So they're laying siege to my capital now. I'm in negative money. Can I raise troops when I'm in negative money? I assume not. No. Can I take loans out? I'm gonna take 2 loans out, which will let me afford what, like 1,000 troops? Also, time has switched from weekly turns as we switch this era to daily. Alright, so I'm not getting any closer to them on... I also only have 200 recruits. Alright, they're going after my capital. They're going to finish their siege first. What's this? Military mobilization crisis. Call to arms! Yes, do that. Maybe I'll get more troops quickly. Maybe I'll get some reserves. We got 6,000 more manpower. We pulled them into our army here. They're going to take Dublin, which is going to throw the war score in reverse. Did they force a... Bullshit! I was about to fight them on near even terms and they forced a peace treaty on me because they conquered my whole country. Boo! Come on. So does that, did we just like, I mean, we didn't technically lose. We're now, they're our liege lord. I'm assuming you can try and break away at some point, but now we're a vassal. So that's fun. So anyway, this is as I lose my train of thought here. Age of History 3. I don't really want to be anyone's liege lord, but it is interesting that you can't also, does the map stay the same or did it expand at all? I don't think it expanded at all, but Age of Darkness might not have a bigger map. I'm curious if the map will expand with time. But let's go back to the main menu here, just while we've got it. Let's go ahead and do a World War II game, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a taste of the difference here, of the different start dates. So, alright, so we're going to play World War II. I guess we'll be the bad guys, just so you can kind of push the initiative. So, again, same mechanics here. You've got tax efficiency, you've got economy, you've got different goods now, right? So it's not just like fruit and other things like that. You've also got industrial goods or things like that. Tax efficiency obviously is much higher in the modern era. Infrastructure limits are higher. Technology is higher. You have, I guess, one core here. I don't know if you like force other regions to join your core as you take them. You've got manpower up here. You've got different types of soldiers. So you've got early trench infantry, machine gunners, tanks, early fighters, early bombers, artillery. So there's still an element of like World War I tech here going on. You've also got research. Icons look different. And I know atom bombs show up at some point once you actually, you know, get there. Also, you can see the time here. Each turn is 8 hours by the looks of it, instead of a day, or instead of 7 days. Oh, pause. France made me a rival. We can go ahead and choose our rivals here. So United Kingdom probably makes sense. Soviet Union and France. I'm guessing these are just sort of influences to prestige. You can see we've got a lot more divisions available to us. And the game is similar to Hearts of Iron in the way that it will push sort of events on you. So apparently we've got a bunch of historical unassigned generals. It's just kind of interesting to me how these uniforms don't look right. It's interesting how the sort of the ancient era, sort of everything was... Is that Himmler? That does not look like... Maybe... it's interesting to me how, like, some of the other eras are much more sort of make-believe, whereas this is not. And again, you get different updates, so, you know, dominant producer of this particular asset. Okay, excellent. I don't know the options, I guess... You get like... okay. Today is a great day! Oh, whatever. So again, this is very, like, this feels very Hearts of Iron-y. Maybe the older Hearts of Iron, not so much the new one. New in quotes. Okay, so let's just speed things up real quick, and then I assume go to war with Poland. I'm not going to actually play this super seriously, but you'll get historical events that will pop up. I just kind of figure it makes sense to show that. We're not obviously doing much play-wise, but... Rivaled by the United Kingdom. So time moves way slower now. Beer production soars. Oh, yes. Yeah, sure. I guess we could do some economic investments while we wait. Oh, and the red icon means those provinces' economy is already maxed out. We're out of gold. But there you go. So our economy is chugging along. We just invested in the whole economy everywhere. Did some growth rate stuff. Just waiting for 38 to roll up. So we'll start to see, you know, again, it's kind of like Hearts of Iron where you get different events that trigger at different times. And that's where it's like some of the other scenarios are very sort of sandboxy and fictional. Oh, Italy wants to be our ally. Okay. Some of them are not. And World War II seems to be the version of the game that they put maybe more thought into. Alright, so we've got agricultural breakthrough, rich harvest. Like, these are obviously fictional. But then you also have the Anschluss, which is, you know, obviously that happened. So we initiate the Anschluss. Bye-bye, Austria. They accepted our ultimatum, and we have grown! You can see our income went way up, too. I'm assuming we'll get the Munich agreement here soon. The Sudeten question. Send the demands. There we go. We got the Sudeten land. And again, we're just speeding through here, so you know, we're not trying to play it super realistically, so we'll go ahead and occupy the rest of Czechoslovakia. They accepted our demands, and now you've got Germany having conquered everything it did up to the war in Poland. So if we get the Polish option here, that'll pull up here in a second, I'm assuming. So we've got the decision on the Polish corridor. If we right-click on Poland, are they allied to the historical? They are allied to Hungary. That's it. So for whatever reason, there is no alliance with Britain at this time. So let's send the ultimatum. Let's see what they do. We're at war with Poland. And apparently also Hungary. Okay. It's good to know, I guess. Alright, let's send 49 divisions down here to deal with Hungary. And we're just gonna move across into these various provinces here. We're ready. We've got, I think, anyway. Are we allied to these guys? No, don't do that. Why are they green? Just 'cause? They're allied to Danzig? Okay. We're going to slow up a little bit. 50 Polish divisions are attacking East Prussia. Wow, that's a lot. Meanwhile, we're engaging 5 divisions here as our force tries to move south. So they're going to invade East Prussia as 40 divisions of ours try and move south on Hungary, which we won't occupy any territory from anyway, so it's more or less just a please don't, you know. I'm surprised the Polish are more efficient than us, I guess. No, those actually troops are starting. We're getting the better of it eventually. We have no alliance with the Soviet Union, by the way. Alright, we'll go I don't know where they're retreating to up there in the north. Maybe a little bit of whack-a-mole. But we should be in good position here to liberate Danzig and the other territories up here. I don't particularly want to waste my effort fighting the Hungarians, so happy to leave them on the border. If that's what it takes. Right, we defeated them again. Just wait until we get to 90, which we might just have to re-liberate the province in eastern Prussia. Because we've already taken Warsaw. You can see these little line marks through the areas we've conquered. And again, Hungary's really not coming to their aid all that much. So no eastern... The siege ends? What's this? Show mercy to Warsaw or burn and loot. Burn and loot gives me more devastation, but also more gold. No, I'll show mercy. Not very World War II Germany like to show mercy, but from a gameplay point of view, it makes sense. Oh shit, where are they going through my territory? You guys were put on the border to stop them from doing just that. Did they liberate these provinces, or did I just never take them? This game feels like there's the combat, and especially in the modern era or in the larger maps, will very quickly become a whack-a-mole situation. Great. They're going to crush me up there, aren't they? Yep. Okay, well, that's fine. We've got 61 divisions and 49. I don't think the Hungarians are going to be able to overwhelm that. And if I take Warsaw back, I think we'll get the necessary war score to win this thing at this point. Now, capitals do seem to take a little bit longer to take. Alright, we're going to crush that Hungarian force, and they're at 67%. They got a lot of territory that hasn't been conquered yet. Oh, the Russians? What's going on here? Did the Russians actually enter this war? Huh! The Russians are at war with Poland, too. Okay, so they did do their Eastern Poland thing. They're not at war with me. They're just at war with Poland. Which I guess is historically accurate. Thanks, Soviet Union, I guess. So we're both carving up Poland. I need to get to 90%. Soviets are taking too much territory. Although I wonder if they can even get to 90% because they don't have Warsaw. I don't know how that's going to work. I guess we'll find out. Can we take territory that they've taken? No? Okay. We are at 80%. Be kind of silly if we can't actually win this war. Is there territory of ours they're still occupying? Do we have to take Hungary, maybe? Maybe that would do it. The Russians aren't at war with Hungary, so... I suppose that's probably why they haven't fallen yet. It's all due to Hungary. All right, let's crush the Hungarians here in Poland. Yeah, that's it. Alright, we defeated their army there. I don't know what the Soviets are going to do, because maybe the Soviets are at war with Hungary too? I'm not sure. But they don't have the inside track to getting there. I do. Now the weird thing is, even though they're allied, like, because the way the game works is allies typically don't lose territory. Just the country you're, fighting. So I don't know if maybe I can't claim provinces that the Soviets have. Maybe I'll only be able to claim the provinces of Poland that I occupy. %, war score, 87% war score. Where'd the Soviets are just stuck and they can't. I guess we don't have a treaty that lets them move freely through my territory, I suppose. Yeah, we should be at 90 here in a sec. Hungary's also presumably going to be very much weakened. What if the game will just automatically give me peace if I get to 100%? Is that worth taking the extra time and going for? Maybe. Although actually I might not be able to get to that because of the Soviet occupation. Yeah, whatever. We'll just make peace. Siege end, show mercy. Alright, so let's do the negotiation here. Make demands. Can I just... It'd be nice to just... Like, do I have to... Can I just click all this? Is there a territory limit to what you can... There might be a limit on what you're allowed to request. So I guess we'll just do this one at a time, just so we've got a cohesive line. The Soviets will probably end up getting whatever's left. Because there were sections it wouldn't let me occupy when I did the dragon drop, if you will. Can I demand any Hungarian territory? No. What does humiliate do? Not sure. It's funny that Hungary entered the war, but the British and French did not. So World War II is not a world war, I guess. Not yet, anyway. Can I really just conquer all this? For whatever reason, the drag and drop wouldn't let me, but... Oh, we're maxed. So aggressive expansion goes up by 73. Greater than 100 equals a coalition, I'm guessing. We get 26 million people. There you go. There's the score drops every time you take a... Okay, so... Enforce demands. Confirm. And there you go. We got all this Polish territory here. I'm assuming... Well, there was no Ribbentrop Act. Never popped up, so... Maybe because we declared the Soviets our rivals? In any event, I'm assuming the Soviets are going to annex the eastern portion of Poland that we didn't take. But yeah, we're a bit further east than we were historically. But Stalin will still get a little bit of a buffer zone here. Also, maybe we need to go to war with Hungary, because... Do I have to, like, manually click these off, or do they go away? But anyway, it's March of 1940 before we finished conquering the Poles. We never actually took Danzig. It's still a city-state. But we did take Poland here. So, you know. There you go. And you could continue playing, which we didn't really intend to set this up, but that's Age of History 3, guys. I gotta work tomorrow, so we'll probably wrap this up here. I hope you guys did enjoy my first look. Let me know if you want to see more of this. It's definitely an interesting game. I'm not sure how put together the AI really is, or how deep the game is, despite a lot of options. But it seems fairly straightforward once you kind of figure out what you're doing. Anyway, guys, let me know if you want to see more of this, and that's going to do it for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm out.